All right. Welcome on in to WCIA Network, where everything I do and say falls under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. So, this live is going to be another amazing live. Um, for those who know, I have been here since the day Summer Moon went missing, allegedly June 15th, 2021. They're really, even though there's stories and dates flying around and timelines flying around, we really don't know what's true and what isn't true. We really don't know what timeline to follow, who to listen to. And that's, I think, probably been most of the really frustration in this case, that there's so much drama, um, nonsense going on underneath what we call the SummerWellsMissing children's cases. And that encompasses all the children that I see and feel have been sacrificed, taken for someone else's purpose, and just taken. And when people say they're just gone, they are. They're gone. And I know that there's news out there about summer, and I hear it with you guys, but and I know I'm only allowing myself to get involved with the information from TBI. So that's where we sit. Now that I hear TBI has brought out information about where they're digging, where they're looking, whatever. All I can tell you is it reminds me of what I had said back in the beginning when I was doing my readings. And those readings haven't changed up till today. They were animals, animals, animals. These kids are being sacrificed. These kids are being fed to animals. These kids are being taken for SA. They're being taken to be sold. They've been taken for all of the things that you could think of that is so horrific and then multiply it by a gazillion. So I don't believe that most of any of these kids will be found. Um, maybe they'll find DNA. Maybe they'll find information that will put the parents to, give them some peace. Um, I don't know. But what I do know is my psychic readings have never changed, and they will never change. They have stayed the same. And the reason I think that is even important, why someone's probably like, who gives a shit if her readings have stayed the same? We haven't found Summer Moon. We haven't found these children because I don't believe that we get the right support to find these children. We are just humans walking around trying to bring justice to the missing children. We can't go dig. We can't go on people's, private property. We can't do those things. We can't arrest. We don't have the right to do that. We only have the right to speak our truth, speak our mind, and say what we believe to be true. Freedom of speech is all we're allowed to do, keeping it within, guidelines that we're allowed to have in order to go on a YouTube channel or, go out there and really stand for what you believe to be true. And that doesn't mean there's bullying involved. It doesn't mean that there should be any fighting or screaming or being such a mean person, because truthfully, there's many channels someone could go to and listen that will make them feel comfortable to hear the information. Sometimes someone gets so uncomfortable with things that I say that the only way they know how to defend against it is to be nasty. That's all they know from, right? They don't know how not to be nasty. They don't have enough or skill sets really to see that a button was pushed and people don't like their buttons pushed. They don't want to know the truth because not that they don't want to know. They don't want to know the truth because it's very uncomfortable for people. Sometimes it's people that have gone through situations. It's a very fragile topic. There are people that listen that have actually gone through horrific situations and it's hard for them to listen to. So I understand that. So if there's anything that I say here today or on any of my channel readings, don't listen. And I'm not saying that rudely. I'm just like, just change the channel because it's better for you to do that than to sit in misery and then become bullish, right? Um, we all know that Summer Moon Wells has had recent news. I understand that. I do know that they have been looking at areas for a long time. This isn't like they first went out there to say, oh, there's areas of interest. It's not. It's the first time that it has been said on, like, it was said on their local news stations that they went out to this piece of property. Now, the piece of property, I went back in my notes, is within 10 miles. Um, it is the rivers obviously all combine together and meet in one location. But if you were to go on the water, the river from the Wells property to any of these areas where they're talking about, it's open land. They could have raised pigs there. They could have had animals, a farm. Many of those pieces of property have. Many of those pieces of property have that now. They've had it in the past. It's not uncommon. So when there's channels trying to, hype up information, it's not fair. It's not fair. Let the TBI do their job and do understand that we have talked about the animals here and on many other channels. And animals and pigs and farms and all of that is very common from the Wells property all the way down to, you know, within 10-mile radius. So I looked at that and if the river was high, you could possibly go into the river and use that as part of a getaway. But that can't be the only getaway. The river has to be high, but that can't be the only thing that if summer was taken, they used. I still see that summer was lifted off the property. I see that water was involved. I see mushy, mushy ground. I see hay. I see straw. I see hay. I see a farm. I see place like Appalachian Fairgrounds. I see that there's multiple people playing characters within these stories that help spread the story the way they need to spread it. I do thank you for asking that question. I believe that justice is being served um, by keeping the children's story alive. That's why I wrote a documentary. I did an intro to this and that song I wrote. You bring justice to children by keeping them the focal point, by keeping them the most important part of the story, and not the drama, and not you know, hyping up one piece of evidence because the children need justice by speaking it for them. You don't have to be psychic to speak it for them because I know the people that are here listening, you know the story. My story that I have been seeing since before I started a YouTube channel can be told through me using digital distortion, through me using layers, you're welcome, layers and layers and layers of visuals. I use visuals, which I didn't know. This platform has helped me see that. This here are pictures of the tree trimmers. The tree trimmers were at the Wells property. You'll get a couple different dates. They say the day before, and then now they say the day of, and that the tree trimmers left at 3 o'clock. Jody Sue Brown has told it two ways. So what I do here is I take what I see to be the truth, and then I take all of the deceptive information, the different storylines, the different information that is coming from the characters that have been here since day one. And those are the YouTube creators that create hype. Okay, I don't even know what else to call it. And I'm going to be talking about Ziggy mostly today, and it's about her channel and not about her. Ziggy does her thing. I don't know anything about her, and I don't have the right to talk about her, right? I've never met her. So it's not about Ziggy. It's about the information Ziggy's channel gives me. This actually come to think of it, this came from her channel also. But it has nothing to do with her. It's about how her channel gives me opportunity to show the Summer Moon Wells story so you can in turn start to see truth. So when I show pictures like this from her video, that's not Ziggy to me. This I see a victim. I see victims that are in rooms. I see victims that are consistently being filmed. They're being abused while they're being filmed. So is it that Ziggy's being abused while she's being filmed? Of course not. That's how it's not about her. I get the information through the videos. These kind of pictures, when I go through it, Summer Moon Wells, I see was lifted, lifted off the ground, lifted off the ground. This photo, you see this? This photo comes from Ziggy's video on the tree trimmers. And when an image appears, someone may see this image not the same way I do. That's okay. I see it the way I need to in order to give you a story about the children. This image here, brighten it up, confirms with me that Summer was lifted away. She was lifted. She was lifted. And she held on to something like this that lifted her away. This comes from the tree trimmers video. Ziggy went and interviewed the tree trimmers. And I'm always given the correct element so I could give you my reading. this would be what Summer's hand looks like this. So instead of, Summer, um, swinging on a swing, right? This would be Summer hanging, like being pulled. You know how I keep saying she's being pulled? Summer is being pulled. I've said it over and over and over that she was pulled. And that's really, I'm not even quite sure how else I'm supposed to explain it other than when she left the property, she had to have her arms up. Now, I know that we've always been seeing Summer like this, but she's being pulled. And and then she's being put down under. She's being pulled and then down into the ground. This is Don Wells's picture. Summer then gets put down into the ground. This goes down into the ground. This is Don's picture. They hang. This photo here, I get many photos that remind me of the victims I'm talking about through all the families that I follow. And I've showed you pictures like this, um, and I don't know if you see it. I showed you photos like this of Ziggy today. I have a whole presentation. And again, it's not Ziggy. It's Don's ground. That's on Don's ground. Yes. As in helicopter. Yes. As in tree trimmers. As in tree trimmers equipment. Tree trimmers equipment could have pulled her off that ground. When I see Summer in my third eye, how they would hide her to get her somewhere, I'm going to show you what that looks like to me. This is one of the families I follow, and this to me is what victims look like. They usually have one eye that's much more bruised than the other. Kylie Rodney, correct. Characters like Benny and Faith D are the same to me. The videos that Benny shows and Faith show, they have much in common as far as this particular background. Now, I give information, just give it. If the law enforcement wants to use it, fantastic. If they don't, they don't. But I'm giving information that I believe could help, right? Now, I'm not giving information to talk people into believing what I say. I don't care. It doesn't matter because what I say is not going to change. And I'm here to educate, right? It's to educate and entertain. So if I could educate others to look at these kind of elements, Benny's, Faith's. Faith, by the way, is a channel that I've done many stories on because Benny introduced him to me. Benny introduced Faith. Faith said on a live that he was hiding SummerWells in his basement. He did. But what you have to also see here very clearly, let me brighten this up, is that Faith, and you see here Benny, you see a little bit of digital distortion. You see a little bit of Like, here, I'm gonna brighten this up, like here. This here is what Benny's showing, but yet this is the same. Here's Benny, and now he's in a picture like this. So what I'm saying for the other, hi Jean, hi guys, nothing but love, hi Lita, Kylie's nail candy, Colleen. I what I'm showing you here, Cami, what I'm showing you here is something to pay attention to. Can it can it help? Yes. Yes. It's to question. Why and how the hell would Benny have the same drapery? He knows him. I get it, but that little piece of drapery is in Face videos. I copied and pasted that down. It's the same. So these are bits of information that here that is important. So that's Benny's, but what I just showed you was Benny's in Face. They to me, they don't stay the same. They are vehicles of information for me. They're vehicles of when I talk about them and put them on, um, I receive a lot of information, like I do with Molly Golightly. Always, always, always with Benny. Fred Hill. Um, Fred Hill's videos, I actually believe show some part of truth. I can't pinpoint it. There's something with Fred Hill's information that mm, that really speaks. And between Fred Hill's and Benny's and Ziggy's and Jody Sue Brown's and Molly Golightly, I see the story so clearly. And I see how electronics and how these children are, are placed on electronics, phone after phone after phone after phone. So one of my first readings I had was when no one was listening. Um, and I told a story about how Summer went to like a camp and all these people were sitting on the bleachers. Robin Lane was there, a lady with dark black hair. I've talked about her. And these phones, everyone got all their phones all scrambled. Something went wrong with the phones. And that's what I think happened with Summer. Like when I see pictures like this, it tells me that um, there's many layers to these children and how they're taken and how they're being protected, you know, and it's a group. Robin Lane. Robin Lane's face shows someone else. How is that possible? So if you and I talk about these people. You could go on YouTube and you probably find hundreds and thousands of images like this that shift and change and faces change, but I'm only specifically talking about groups of people that keep their focus on missing children. Summer. This dude this dude used to have a channel that he took down, he started a new one. Hi, Jean. And this is a Summer Moon Wild's child. So when Summer Moon Wild's missing children go missing, this is torture. But this is within a layer of that guy's video. Just as Kylie Rodney's had this on her face, and over here, this one is not Lori Vallow. Um the daughters. I got my brain. But these are common. This is also on Jody Sue Brown. This information that shows up is ignored. And all it tells me when I do a reading on it is they are rituals. They're rituals. And these rituals aren't, they're not being looked at. No one's looking at them as if it's something that gives information. The digital distortion, the mistakes that were made in the beginning of Summer Moon, the errors that were covered up. I'm going to keep showing this. Candace. Candace, her first mistake. Candace's first mistake. Yes, left pick is horrible. Was posting the day Summer went missing at 5:06, and then she changed it to 6:06. Do you understand that in order to change a time, let me see. Um, what day of the week was June 15, 2021? Tuesday. June 15th, 2021 was a Tuesday. This was posted on Tuesday, 5:06. Something went wrong in the Summer Moon Wells case. Something went wrong. What you see to the right is equipment that is familiar to the children's eyes. Please feel the intensity that I am telling you that Candace Wells was never questioned on the fact that she deleted her post and reposted it. No, she didn't repost it. She changed the time. These are things that the authorities don't talk about. It's there. There's a stamp of information because I quickly grabbed it when I heard someone else grabbed it. They're like, "Oh wow, how is it that Candace Wells posted at the time that she's ranting and looking for her child?" And she couldn't have been because the post had Summer in it. Was it a predetermined picture? This photo had Summer in it. If Summer went missing and she knew she went missing around 3:30, what the fuck is she doing posting? You see, I don't, you can't make sense of that. If she was asked by the authorities the correct way, like, here's your post. Question number one, Why did you change the post from 5:06 to 6:06? The other one, if you go in, you guys, is 6:06. Question 2, how the fuck could you post a picture with Summer at 5:06 or 6:06 if she was gone by 3:30? The timeline's all messed up. They didn't know how to correct themselves. They didn't know how to correct themselves. Don Wells's pictures looked like this. August 4th, 2021. Not even 2 months later. In the video that I stopped and slowed down, Don Wells posted this. If there was a hole in the ground right in front or the back of their house, don't you think someone would be like, "Holy shit, there's a hole in the ground. Let's go check out the hole in the ground." That hole in the ground hasn't changed. That's the same hole that they show over and over and over. This is Don Wells's. Appalachian Fairground is a very large piece of property that keeps coming back in my psychic readings. Appalachian Fairground and the animals on the lower level. When I would see the animals on the lower level and the hay and the cows and the pigs, the way they're all laying on top of each other, I could almost smell. I could smell the animals. I could smell the mushy and the little pieces of straw in the mud. So when I saw something like that, which the picture to the left in the green is John Deere, is a picture, and behind there is ERE and the number 5. I circled it. The very last weekend before Summer went missing, they went on these field trips. And I remember saying, why? I see an ERE back there. Like, why? How is it why does that match the Appalachian Fairground? So I'm not saying in psychic readings you don't know what's the truth, right? There's different elements for me pop out. They pop out at me, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean that they were at the Appalachian Fairground. I'm saying the ERE and the number 5, this is very important information. This is underground. They're showing information to me so I could read it. You see, there's a common thread here. And when I speak like this, I'm hoping that someone on the authority level will listen and and maybe it will be a light bulb moment for them, you know? Maybe it'll be a bulb moment when I show pictures like this that Summer's going, I see Summer entering a hole in the ground. She's being pulled. She's being pulled. And how is it that we could get a very quick snapshot of Summer crying? That's not the Summer. I do not see the Summer that is being shown to us. I feel and see a different Summer here. I do not I don't always see the same Summer. The Summers change because there's hundreds of children that fall underneath the Summer Moon Wells case. Thousands of children. And her story her story is significant to hundreds and thousands of children. So when you look at her here and she's crying and she's being pulled, This picture in the middle, let me grab the picture in the middle, shows me an open doorway. It doesn't it removes in my third eye what I see is it removes the green grass. It removes the noise around the tree and shows me what I've always seen. The doorway in which these kids enter. They go into a hole. They go into the ground, you know, and this is what appears to me. Now, may it be, so it's layered. I don't give a shit. But I see her being pulled into this, just like I showed you that first picture. I showed you that picture of the tree cutters, the tree trimmers, and um I told you that she was being pulled. This is what I see here. Same concept right here. So whenever a image comes up, there's an answer to the image. Do you see to the right how she's sitting on a box, almost like it's a chair, but she's being lifted? There's no life in this photo. It's lifeless. I'm not asking the authorities to do anything other than have an open mind. There's gifts of information throughout these pictures. Enan, Enan, Harsh, Idaho 4. Gifts of information. Gifts of information like this, where you see the knife and a gun on a bed. Does the bedspreads, any of the bedspreads, match that bedspread in the Idaho 4 house? Does this room look familiar? Does the bed frame look familiar? The bed frame? Summer. Summer Moon Wells has so much to say, and she has become the warrior for all the children that you see here. You could see yourself that these are not photos of just one child. There are multiple children here. And anyone that was here in the beginning, they know that the swimming hole was one of the very last videos. When I tape the video of the swimming hole, what I'm getting in between the frames are other children. Their eyes look just like the eyes of all the children. They have those eyes, the dark black eyes. I didn't make these photos. I clipped these photos. There is nothing here that resembles Summer's face, the Summer that we know. So, as you I always like to tell you the reason I'm talking. As you're watching this, I'm trying I bring justice to the children. I know I do because I get my readings out. And these are readings. And it's also to educate so other people pay attention to what's being shown. These kids go under all these pictures I don't get them from Google. I don't get them from, like, images I just pull. All these images are either from the characters I mentioned, the YouTube creators, or the families that I follow, period. They're the families that I follow all have all of these children at the same time. They go all over the world. They have the same travels. They go to Bali. They go fishing. They go swimming. They go surfing. They go skiing. They go to private whatever. They've all lived in California. They've all lived in Hawaii. And they're all together. They're friends. And when I go to get their information, I specifically grab pictures of what I see to be true as far as the Summer Moon Wells missing children, the children that are being sacrificed, the children that are being taken. And they're pictures that are between photos, like this. This is a fake car underground, and these kids go through hell. They go through hell, you guys. Summer Moon Wells here has been lifted off the property. She has gone down into a tunnel, and she has found her way out all the way across the river. I always said she was on one side of the river, and then she wound up on the other side of the river. She didn't walk over the river. There are tunnels under the ground. She was lifted. She went under the ground, above the ground. She did not use a fucking car. She did not use a car to get where she is or to get where she was. Period. She just didn't. The smaller the picture, the more information you see. So I like to gather the smallest of the smallest picture. If I were to zoom into the picture on the bottom left, I said that this is, let me get this. Wait, hold on. I said that this here is a doorway on Don's videos. It's a doorway. It's right there. So that picture is right here. You could see the doorway. See? And that's what I call digital distortion because it's layered. The digital distortion is on the top layer. The truth is beneath the digital distortion, right? This is from Don Wells's pictures and videos. This, that's a heart. I keep saying she went down under. But if you go to the smallest of the smallest, it even I see even more of a door because it's raw. See? That's raw. That's a perfect square. And there's the heart above it. It's a door. It's a doorway. It's not rocket science. It's digital distortion. It's not rocket science. It's digital distortion. It's digital distortion to take her swinging on a swing but this is really what's underneath the video. It's digital distortion to cover Enan Harsh's information from the Idaho 4 when I see sacrifice done the night before. Underneath these grounds, beneath the grounds, is, a whole different world. It's a world that no one really wants to talk about. It's a world that when you enter, it looks like what you see here to the left, just like with Trish's information. Trish, I don't know where she is. She's been gone for a while. Her video showed us the best images of underground. Now, was that her intention? No idea. But this is Trish's last video that I know of. That this is the doorway. And I've always said that is the closest I'm going to get to what is underground was Trish's video. So when I see this here and I say, that's it, it's what's underneath, it's right there. There's no difference between that and this. This is what the doorways are. They're this. So I do have a lot of videos on her doorway. Um, the doorway has, these bright things like that. Um, the white sticks, I do see it. Um, you see light, so somewhere somewhere you could get light. See? I see it on a farm. I see it where you would raise animals. It's like a dungeonish. It's like a dungeon. Um, and it's like it's like a feeding farm. Like whatever it is, it's being carried through the underground. So it's not like you're just gonna go to, you know, hop in a hole and find it, right? This was always my favorite because what it tells me is the images are never what to remember. It's to tell me to remember images aren't what they appear to be. So when I see Trish in videos and then other people like this pop up, it reminds me, stay humble, stay true to task, and not get too involved in any of the smaller details that are always spinning around my head, but to stay true to the children. And here's Ziggy. I showed her video earlier. I have gone through lots of videos today, and I want to teach you guys that digital distortion, I don't know why it's there, how it's there, why I see it, why I don't see it, but I think that there is someone in the Summer Moon Wells case that is the guy, like is the head honcho. There's a lot of people beneath, but there is a man, the head honcho. The characters that I list here are beneath. So there's a head honcho, one main person, and I see him as a man, overweight, um, and a square face. You know, the pictures I pull are the pictures that the children see to be true. And little Summer um, is here. And She shows up in so many of Jody Sue Brown's videos. She shows up. This is Jody Sue Brown. This is Jody Sue Brown. This is Jody Sue Brown. I don't see Jody Sue Brown. This is the Summers face that shows up all the time. This little face. And I'm just supposed to be like, "Hi, Summer. We hear you. We're telling your story. We're here for you. We're going to keep trying to bring justice the way that I could do it for you. I'm going to keep trying to do this and read the story to the best of my ability, to what I see to be true. I know they take their eyeballs. I know that most of these children aren't real. I'm going to post a picture on my oh, I don't know about that. Okay, thank you. And this is Ziggy in her video that I'm going to show you. But before I show you the video, I want to explain to you that the Wells never, ever, ever, ever showed a house, an image of their house that stayed consistent. What stays consistent in all of their videos is the hole in the ground. So what's consistent for me is that what I'm always looking at, even though they bring your attention, to the canoe, they bring your attention to the front door, they try to bring your attention to all of that shit, to the mattress. This is where I look. This. I do a reading. There are not two of these, but here there are two of them. It's not that it's doubled, that's how they show it. And when I look at this, I see a doorway underground and the door lays flat and you lift it up. Like, remember I told you guys when Don Wells was doing his construction and he put these doors there with hinges? And like, why are there hinges on this door? Well, maybe there aren't hinges on the door. Maybe there are no doors at all. But I saw the hinges on the door. So I see a door here. And I see this door lifts up. See? Oh, what did I just lock? What did I just do? Um, edit, undo, move over. It locked it. Okay, so oh brother, let me see if I could unlock it. This picture is, see, this here is underneath it. I can't move this picture. It's stuck. It's stuck. Show window. Huh. Scene. Wait. Let me see if I could. It's so weird. Well, let me see. I have to do this. Okay. Let me put this back on. You guys, that was it, like, just locked itself in place. Here we go. Here we go. Paste. I see the door. I see the I've it's funny. I've always seen a maroon door, underground, underground, a maroon door underground. Listen to me when I say underground. The maroon door is under the ground, under the house, under the ground. This is the maroon door. Here, it opens. That's the area that I see the hole in the ground. I see the hole in the ground. And this is what I'm supposed to be looking at. This. There's a hole in the ground. You know, I do believe that there are passageways. I've said that before. And they're important things to find because when we first saw the side of his house, never ever did you have anything sticking out like this. Here, this this is like, and then it shows it's covered. Like this is covering the wall as if this is was put in here. So if I were the police, I would investigate this area. Like we said before, where he did construction. See, I would investigate this area because it never stays the same. All these little pieces that pop up in his windows, all these pieces, it's like noise to me now. It's like noise. The only thing that's important is the fact that the hole in the ground. All this other stuff, well, I mean, I see a head, but that's beside the point. That hole in the ground is critical. So that's a reading. If there's a hole in the ground that's critical, then I'm saying that they need to dig in the ground to find evidence. They need to dig. And that these pieces, these red pieces of equipment that pop up all over, um, are probably really white pieces of equipment and they're not red. But there's equipment. They have to find the equipment. Digital Distortion. Madeline McCain. I haven't shown this picture in a while. Um, that's what happens to that girl in the black hair. It tells me that this is so powerful. This photo is so powerful. It always was when I found it through Madeline McCain. Um, so powerful. We really didn't give that girl justice. Something was extremely wrong with that whole story. This is the lady that Madeline's above her. This is in the ground. So again, it tells me that there's these windows and these victims are in the ground. This There's a lot of digital distortion done to these victims. but their heads are out, their heads, you know how in the beginning I said heads on platters? This is what it reminds me of, a head on a platter. And they're doing some science projects with them. I mean, that's what's going on, you guys. These children are being used. Come to your own conclusion on that one. Doorway, doorway, doorway. My readings, when if they're gonna go look on this property for summer and they're gonna be doing this, there are particular elements that um don't go away. Doorway, doorway, doorway. Harvesting, yes. Molly go lightly. Here's the man's face that I'm talking about. It's right there in front of us. This is the face. Molly Golightly's face shows the same things as I'm seeing in Ziggy. Madeline McCain showed me victims underground. Madeline McCain's picture here shows me victims underground. Multiple victims. Multiple victims. She was used. She's probably brainwashed. And that's Ethan from the Idaho 4. Again, a photo nobody wants to talk about. A photo that nobody wants to look at. No one wants to look closely at this photo. They don't want to. There is a picture of Ethan looking like this. And the children that I take snapshots of is nothing more than the SummerWellsMissing children. It's nothing more than what I always see. Equipment, their necks. I see um I see victims. I see that their story goes so deep. Their story goes so deep. Can you go back one? Which one? This? This one, Cammy? This one? Which one? Which photo? Am I on the right one? Madeline McCain, you guys, that one really bothered me. Like the information I have on Madeline McCain, this is a victim that is being shown. It wasn't just Madeline McCain coming. Like, look at her neck. Look at her neck. This is a victim. Look at her head. She has that patch on it. I don't know what that patch is, but they put shit on the head. Still back one. This is a victim attached to the same equipment. This is the one I think maybe you wanted. Attached to the same equipment as Summer Moon Wells was. We've seen this multiple times. See down here? There's no difference between whatever that victim is connected to or what Madeline McCain is connected to or what Summer Wells is connected to. That is no different than Madeline McCain's pictures. None. No different than Summer Moon Wells' pictures. No different than any of the pictures that I show. That's no different than when I show you of the creators that I follow. And I'm like, this is what they do to them. Nothing's changed. But I really, really, really need you to understand that it's not being talked about anywhere. It's a serious issue. It's a serious issue. These children aren't going to be found if, in fact, the truth isn't talked about. Here's the face that I see to be true. Looks like this face, the person behind all of these children. It's a man. It's a man. I consistently see a man staring back. Wait, hold on. See this? This is what I call the fake skin right here. Easton's. She's a character. And this is Brian Kohlberger's father. This is a common trait that I see over and over and over. This is the face that's familiar to me. So, why do I put that out there? Because maybe someone knows this face. Maybe someone knows this face. Those pictures are from Candace. You won't find them now because those are all taken down. This is Summer, and this is supposedly Jody Sue Brown. Again, I see Summer. These are the boxes. I consistently see boxes and boxes and all of these creators' videos, and I have to show it because maybe one day I give this information for the good of the cases, and maybe in hopes it will help. Maybe they'll see like something sticking out of the ground that kind of looks like a number 5 box. There's a maybe it isn't a number 5, but it looks like a number 5, and they grab it because they're like, holy shit, I heard that information before. Aaron Carter, victim. If you see these little teeny pieces, whatever these are, left in the soil, left in the ground, right? Pick them up. Pick them up. Don't leave them there. Pick them up. Test them. If you see anything like this, Don't just pass it by. Lori Vallow's kids, same thing, victims. They were victims just like Summer Moon Wells. Kylie Rodney, I passed her already. Wait, who's this one to the left? Oh, he's just not Kylie, he's just um, a YouTuber, and his pictures show me that victims are hidden, like, away in attics, in grounds, in undergrounds, right? And look at look at this. Wait, let me get it closer. Pull this in. Ryan Laundrie. There's something happened way before something was planned way before they left to hit the road. Something. These are sacrifices. They're sacrifices. Summer Moon, Candace shows a lot of this stuff, and I consistently am taking snapshots of this gook, and I can't even repeat. I don't even wanna repeat what they do to these humans, but all I can tell you, there's an eyeball in here. That to me, even though it's a fingernail, see how that's a fingernail? I see eyeball, so I see the truth. So I see that these victims' eyeball is a very major piece of the puzzle. I'm giving this information in hopes it will help one day. Here's this guy. See? And I see victim going in here between the wood. In here between the wood. Between the wood. And I said, new construction, new construction. These bodies get hidden. They're put away for resurrection. They're placed in the ground. But these bodies get wrapped and they get placed in the wood. Like they place these things, they place these victims, and this is Lori Vallow's child. They know what they're doing. It's a victim. This is Lori Vallow's victim. This is a child. This is a child in one of the videos I follow. All of these children, all of these stories, all these images stay the same for me. I see the same bits of storyboards. Like this here, grab this, open it. Is what happens to these victims. This. This is from Lori Vallow's video. Her video. And I'm able to just select and talk above. It's not about this little girl. It's not about the channel. It's not about her parents. Nothing. I'm just able to show you elements of importance that you need to look for when you're listening about the missing children. Just listening to their story and sitting back and, like, agreeing with whatever anyone's saying doesn't do it. I'm not looking for you to agree with me. You may be like, "What the fuck is she talking about?" Just by me talking about it brings these kids justice because let's say this happens to their neck. Let's say that they have this around their neck. They get justice with each little word that I give of truth. Amber Hagerman, she is who Amber Alert is named after. Oh, Amber was a victim. It's Faith, Benny's friend. Amber was a victim. Amber was a victim. I believe her mother knows so. Amber was a victim and she was taken to be sacrificed. There's the V on her face. This is Amber. Amber Alert is named after her, you guys. Think about it. Maybe Amber Alert, a lot of them are this kind of victim because they're just gone. Gone. Every one of them's just gone. Amber Alert children are just gone. Like quickly, they're gone. Find them, they're just gone. How many of those children come back other than when something's going on with the divorced parents or something? Like, forget that. But it goes back. Placed in the ground, placed in the leaves, placed in the ground is food to replenish the earth. They're being used to replenish the earth. They're in here. They go beneath the ground. They go in the leaves. They get wrapped in hay, like barrels of hay. They get wrapped, you guys. Sick as you think that sounds, they get wrapped. They get wrapped like this. Imagine this like hay, like that. And they can't move, and they become food. Victims' faces are completely distorted, completely distorted. It's Kylie Rodney in the middle. It comes from the Kylie Rodney. So even though that may not be Kylie, blah, 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 it tells me that she's the same kind of victim. This is equipment. This is equipment. To the left is supposed to be Molly Golightly. Molly, like I said, always showed me amazing photos. Always. Let's see if I could take some of this color away. And this is Molly. But I see what these victims wind up looking like. They wind up looking like this. See? That. Which is no different from the little girl to the right playing, and she here is at a farm. She's at a farm, and she's jumping, and this is what the little girl looks like playing at Fender's farm. So I'm not just like snapping and grabbing photos. I'm grabbing photos from the exact same people I've been watching since 2021. I watch the farms, I watch Appalachian, I watch all of the same carnivals. I watch all the same YouTube creators. I watch all the same families that have all these babies, go on vacations, they're all friends with each other, and they all have all of the same cookie cutter information for me to grab. Cookie cutter. The picture in the middle, it's just equipment. This is what I keep showing you guys, the equipment. They're doing things to the victims. I don't know. I just know that this to me is like a head on a platter. Like that's what just keeps coming through, right? And when I see any kind of construction, I see this equipment, I see construction and these pieces of wood, lots of wood, and layering inside the wood and equipment beneath the wood. Like when I look at this picture here, this one here, I think this is from the Watts case. When I look at something like this, it gives me, oh, aha. Like it's a feeding farm. Like I see victims, I see equipment. So like if the cops were to go through anything, like I would look to see where equipment was. Let's say a farm isn't being used, but I would see where equipment would have been running. It's such a disgusting story that comes through my head that it's hard for me to even give it to you guys. It's hard for me to say it, but it's no joke that if they find something on a farm, they're going to find what we've been talking about here since 2021. Animals, animals, animals. Pigs, pigs, pigs. Underground, underground. Beneath the ground, beneath the wood, down under. Find the equipment. It's there. The victim is all the way down there. Victim's all the way down there. All the way. All the way down here. Victim. And this is what it would look like. Looks like this. Benny has showed this multiple times. Benny has shown this exact thing that you're looking to on the left, the exact image to me. He has held it. He has shown it to me. This. that? This is a very important, image. Let's see if I have it over here, and if I have Benny. I might have it in this open PDF. Wait. Um, no, it's not in this open PDF, but I know I have it somewhere. Um, yeah, that's a yeah, maybe it's sort of like this. This isn't the one I was looking for, but it's close enough. Let's see. Um, here. It's like this here is kind of like the same thing as this. This. So these victims are being televised. This is Don Wells. I see a dead body, a dead human, and I see a bloody head. What do you guys see? It's right here. This is Don. This is his construction. I see I see a victim by his construction. The Idaho 4, same thing. They were taken underground and they were fucked with underground and then brought back into their apartment. If in fact they ever really were there. Because they were victimized. They were victims. Over and over and over, I will just keep saying that they were victims. Sacrifices. Sacrifices. Equipment. Underground equipment, the fake cars. The authorities, if they don't bust this open, I would have to just say that they don't want to. Because there are a lot of images out there that really aren't. I call them deep fake, but they're not fake. They're deep fake because they're under the truth. They are there. The information of this equipment matches. It consistently matches what I've always shown. It doesn't change. These open doorways are, if you take away the bright light in these pictures, if you take away the bright light, you're going to get the doorway. They're not outside of the street. There's a doorway here that is being shown to me. If you take this bright light away, I'm going to crop it out. Let me crop the bright light out. And I'm going to pull this up, and you're going to see that this is supposed to be a street outside. It's not. This is a door. These are the doorways. So every time I see something like this, it's a maroon box. Maroon box. Over and over and over and over, this is going to be a maroon box. That is what's in all of these pictures, is this maroon box. It's in this picture, this picture, this picture. There is an entrance of a maroon box that the victims know about. Kylie. Kylie Rodney. I'm just showing you an example. If you took Kylie's picture of her in the sand and you turn it upside down, she is walking with another human. That is a sacrifice. That human has the equipment on them. That isn't her reflection. That's not Kylie's reflection. That's a message saying she was sacrificed. You see this? This is a major picture of Kylie in the news. Nobody has flipped it around and noticed that that is not her reflection. See? Yeah, you've done that before. I've shown this so many times. That's not her. It's a message. Her fingers are a message. Look at her fingers. This here, these two fingers, right there, the heart. The day that anyone in this little girl here, I think these videos are Jeffrey's videos. No one has claimed them yet, but they're disgusting videos. And all the kids are trapped like that. Like they have, um, let me get her face in here. They have this kind of stuff around them, and it's the hearts around the neck. But no one's claimed these videos. But the equipment is wrapped. Equipment's wrapped. Summer moon. There are multiple summer moons. In my opinion, and in my opinion only, I say this all the time, there is a summer moon smaller, bigger, and bigger. They're different size summer moons, and those different size summer moons are always shown to me. This video shows me when she holds this summer moon and then puts that summer moon down, they're like all different sizes. When she holds them, they're all different sizes. Robin Lane Robin Lane knows the story. Don Wells knows the story. Benny Keys knows the story. Summer Moon Wells was never in a car, ever in a car, laying on milk jugs. Never. Her face never touched a cold milk jug, let alone two. The clues that are consistently shown, I think, should be used just in order to find other clues. I give information so this information could be used in the future to bring justice to the children. The hippie house is what you see to the right. Molly Golightly is what you see to the left. Molly Golightly's information is the same as the hippie house. I match them together because they're the number 5 box. It's always the number 5 box. These boxes, these boxes stay consistent. This here is the hippie house. Molly Golightly, for those who don't know, anytime that she would watch TV in these hotel rooms, watch her TV. You've gotta watch her TV and see what goes on her TV. It's I it's loaded in elements. It's not normal TV. See? It's not normal TV, but the elements stay consistent. These boxes are really critical. They appear over and over and over and over, and they go down under. They go Dylan Rounds, pasteurized. Dylan Rounds, pasteurized. That's a Dill Rounds photo from one of his videos to the left. This is a Ramsey photo to the right. Because Ramsey, the exact story. That photo comes from their videos. Look at it. Let me brighten this up. All you gotta do is look at it. Brightening this up and look at the smaller picture right here. This is underground. This is a picture between the photos. This is underground in a box underground. I am not even quite clear how Sebastian is included in this one too. Sebastian Rogers. Down under. I can't say it any louder. Summer Moon Wells was big, little, smaller and smaller, embryos, big, small, but there are multiple. Multiple. I'm showing you Summer Moon Wells victims in different forms. They're different forms. They all look like this. Summer Moon is the Holy Spirit. She is the one that connected me so strongly to the story. This is her. You see? See her eye? Do you see how she's wrapped? Like a cocoon? She's wrapped like a cocoon. She is wrapped just like how I see these victims wrapped between the wood. So I'm not saying, oh, that's somewhere she's wrapped between the wood. I'm telling you that they're placed somewhere to be for the resurrection, to be fertilized, to be reborn. So all of this, I don't know why it all is the same to me, but it is. All of these families that have babies show their little babies in pictures that make no fucking sense. All I see in pictures like this are little teeny mini summer moons being victimized. for the same thing. There's no difference between these pictures for me. All it represents is that they take these victims in all shapes and forms. All shapes and forms. It doesn't matter if they're an embryo. It doesn't matter if they're not fully developed. This here is Summer Moon's news information. This here comes from one of the first vigils. This here comes from one of the families that I follow. It's like they're all the same. Baby number 6, whatever. That one comes from a very huge, well-known, but it doesn't matter because you see, it's not about them. You see her eye? Look at Summer's eye. See how she's looking at us. She wants justice, goddammit. Holy shit, she wants justice. She's counting. She's counting on us. Look at what Summer Moon is holding on to. She is holding on to maroon. She is holding on to metal. She is not holding on to a rope. She is not holding rope when she disappears. When Summer got gone, this is the vigil. The vigils have the best footage. She was not holding onto a rope when she was fucking taken. Not holding onto a rope. Look how small those little hands are. Look at her face covered. She wasn't. She wasn't swinging on her swing. The channels that I watch give me same as you see her fingers. That's what I'm talking about. Those fingers are the same that I'm talking about with Kylie Rodney. These fingers here is what I was showing you here. Oops. Here. Those fingers. I don't know if it's because the fingers chopped off, but here's Faith again. There's these little things that are so critical and worth so much money and such value from these victims. Maybe it's skin. Maybe it's a body part. But they're showing it. To the right is Molly Golightly showing the same thing on her TV. Summer Moon. Her story has not been told. Her story is not about just going to dig at a house. It's about hundreds and thousands of summer moons, different sizes, different shapes. Question what you are being shown. If my daughter showed me an ultrasound like that, I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong? Something's wrong. If anyone shows ultrasound like this, something's wrong, you guys. Heads on platters. Don Wells. Summer Moon. Don knows the story. Dolly Vision. Kylie Rodney, look at her teeth. Come on, guys. Look at the neck to the right. I follow her. She's got millions, millions of followers. But she gives me the story. She gives me information. Ziggy. The Kent family. They help me understand the words that I need to use to bring justice to the children. I don't know, but I do know is there's lots of heads on platters, heads on elements, heads on metal, maroon. I have no idea why. The children just, they don't know why, but they know it's being done. If it wasn't being done, I wouldn't see it. And I think that it's there. This is being shown. This comes from Heels on in the Ear or something, Molly Golightly's, um, Molly Golightly's channel. This is years and years and years ago, and it probably has nothing to do with it, these mats. But when I saw this, I had to stop because 'cause I'm like, barrels of hay. Like, I said this so many times before, I'm like, hay is, like, in her mouth. Like, Summer, when I first gave my first reading, I saw her laying down flat looking up, and she was like, like, trying to get little pieces of grass or hay out of her mouth. So when I saw this, I'm like, "This is rolling someone up." It's like that, and it reminds me of them in barrels of hay. Cars always change. Do not pay attention to the cars. Cars always change. They change location, they change color, they change blah, 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 blah. They're just like, don't even look at them. But do look for information like this that is set within the car, because I call it the fake cars. I call it the fake cars as if the cars are under the ground or as if it's entrance to under the ground, like something about every time I see Benny or whoever, Dolly in these cars, I just don't see anything other than the Summer Moonwell story. I don't see anything other than victims underground. So this is the car, but this is what I see. This. Like that's not in the car because they would say that that's in like their front panel. It's impossible, but there's a victim there, right there. See? So at the end of the day, Summer, her story is extremely significant. Let me show you something. Hold on. Here it comes. Hold on. I put the wrong one on. Wait, intro. Wait, let me put on a video. I don't need to play this one. Right, hold on. Not that one. Okay, here it comes. Okay. Okay. So, now that I got that in here, this is how I get Ray readings. I will stay on a video and move it along until I get a hit. And the hit would be information. And that's what I do here. So, I mean, we know when you play with a video like this, shit happens. Like, you're going to look weird, blah, blah, blah. But what I'm showing is the face distortion that I see victims. I see victims. I can't, I don't do it on purpose. I just see victims. So I'm going to take a couple pictures. So I see the information as it's being shown to me. I hear the story of how they don't um how they use these social media, how they use this technique. Not to say she's using it, again, because it's not about her, but they use this new technology in order to give a story. And this would be the story. So I see it here. I'm going to show you just an example. Hold on. You know, it's not easy. You just sort of move these along. See these faces. I'm going to line them all up. Yeah, there's a lot in here, see? So, not to say she's putting anything in here. I have no idea. It's not my place to judge. I'm using this because I see victims are being televised and they're being deep faked so no one knows it's being done. And I believe that there are channels out there, I don't know who, that use this technique. You see, they use this technique to hide children, to hide victims. Again, it's not about the channels I'm showing. I'm just showing you um, how I like to grab information. Okay, I'm just going to do a few of these to show faces because obviously Ziggy's face isn't changing. I just see faces, and when I present them, they bring justice to the victim that I see. and you don't have to see the victim, right? Mm, okay. Many times I pull the bottom part up too, like I have other videos, this is just I don't know which one this is, that I use, and I pull the bottom up, and the bottom layer is really easy. It's much easier to pull photos. Let's see. That one is dark here. All right, let me try this other one. Hold on. I'm gonna try another one. Okay, here's I'm just gonna see if this one works even better. It's all the same, but I wanna oh, yeah, here, I pulled the bottom up, so this is what I wanted to show you. So, the other thing I do is I match up the bottom picture to the top picture. So, the smaller pictures usually show better, and they show a lot more information for me. Is it really? I don't know. It's just how I do it. So, I go to these bottom photos in between the glitches, and I know what I see. I know what I see. And I'm supposed to see what I'm supposed to see. You know, like here, this is the man. Here's the man. I'm gonna put this one up there. That let me grab this one. This is the clip that I'll show you the bottom one. This is the man that looks the closest to me, to the predator. And this is the man that I see in the other video. I'm sweating. You guys, I'm literally it when I get close like that, it's very overwhelming, and I have to take my sweatshirt off. This is the closest, like, this is closer to the predator, and that here is in the smaller picture on the bottom. That's in this picture smaller on the bottom. See, that's the bigger picture? So, we c I could it's frightening. I've seen this face before, and this is why I do what I do, to try to show there, see it over here now. This smaller one is probably even better. Wait, let me brighten it. Yeah, wow. So this I'm so hot. This one, holy shit. This one looks like the guy that I always see, and he's the same guy that I see in the other ones. I see a guy. Maybe it's a girl, I don't know, but this here is obviously these aren't the same. These aren't even the same. Like, this here, that comes from down in the corner. This here, wait, okay. Let me see if I can, okay, I'm brightening it a little bit more. Copy. Oh my god, my dog's so hungry. So here, I brighten it a little bit more, and what I'm gonna show you are all these pictures. So this here, obviously, these are all different. When you put them next to each other, and I just showed you, I took it from this video. When you put them next to each other, they're different people that I see. Okay, like, again, I don't know what you see, right? Let me get the other ones up. But the man that I say is to the left, to me, is most important. Let's see here. I'm just gonna put these few up and show you what I'm talking about. So these are all Ziggy, okay? These are all Ziggy. Let me see if I've copied any other ones. Oh, here's another one I copied. These are the ones I just took um live, right? I'm they're not in my PDF. These are the ones I just took live so I can make a good point. Okay. So here, I see different victims. So in order for me to bring justice to these victims, I need to recognize that these are different victims and they're being victimized and no one is there to help them. So I want to say to the victims, we see you, we hear you, and we're going to keep doing this for you. And that I see a predator. I see a predator in this right here, in this piece of footage. And that piece of footage shows me this guy down here. Yeah, it looks like Candace. Correct. That's why I said guy or girl. This comes from here. Candace, always. I always see Candace. I see Candace's grandma is this. So it comes from this video right there. Here's the video. This is her video, it's not mine. I move it, it moves, but it stays down there, right? There it is. There it is, down in the corner. And then as I move, it moves. But it shows it. See how it's like in the middle of it's in the middle. Then when you stop, it's right here. And again, if I were to brighten this up, this is what I just did. That's this. That's this. So the one in the middle does not match the ones on the ends between it. See, so when I say I take the middle frame is this. This person does not, like, which one doesn't belong here? Which one doesn't belong here is this one. This and this are obviously not the same face as that. It's just not. It's not the same face. So if the authorities could see the difference, see that glitch, see that glitch? Let's see. Yeah, that seems to be the same picture. So that glitch is why I follow the glitch. Oh, I just follow the glitch. Let's see if it's a little different. Sometimes they're just a little more detailed. So here is just a little bit more because the glitch, for some reason, that's when I stop. No, it's pretty much the same. Now this has a little bit more blood on the neck. See? So if you pull the bottom up, it helps. But you could see what I'm talking about, right? It's down there and it's between the frames. So the pictures that I took of the victims fall between frames. Like I see them. I see them quickly. Like I see the frames that just don't belong. Like this frame here. It just doesn't belong. Now, why? Because it doesn't match. So it doesn't match the same. It doesn't match the same face to me, it doesn't. Maybe to everyone else it does, but there is a victim that looks like this that is looking for justice. Period. So I take a screenshot of it, I put it up here, and that to me is a victim. That isn't even the same as this. Definitely not the same as this. They're all different. Definitely not the same as that. Let me make that brighter. They're different. So I see it very clearly because that's what I do. That's what I do. I see them, I feel them, my psychic ability picks it up quickly. That's what it does. See how quickly I was able to grab that? Because to me, it totally, totally doesn't match. Even the one right next to it, like what the one next to it, this one, I don't know what the fuck that is, but it's different. So, like, why aren't the authorities doing this? Do they not know about it? Do they not know they could do this? Or they just don't want to talk about it to us, right? I mean, I could pull this shit apart all night. My dog has to eat. But I mean, yeah. So this is how we do it. And I look for those glitches and I stop and I take a picture. The video is super dark. I don't like to enhance it because I want to get as true of a photo as I can and then enhance it. Up, up, see? Here's a new one. Here and here. All of these are different. How about that? So I see a different person all the way across. I'm just going to do these three. I see a different person all the way across. Let me show you what I mean. Copy. So I'll show it to you like this. So that's the bottom row, right? So when you blow it up, You blow it up. There's this one. Here's this one. See? And then here's the end one. These look more alike. But but that's not even what she looks like. It's not even what Ziggy is looking like. See? This is that. So the bottom row is super important to grab because that's where you see the inconsistencies. See, now look at the bottom row. Look at how when I keep moving it, this face over here is a little more bloody. Let me show you. This face here is the victim that's looking for justice, but this victim now is bloodier. See? That's the same person. That isn't, that's this person. That's this one. And we could all agree that that isn't Ziggy. I mean, it's not Ziggy. See? So we're bringing justice to the children. Be careful who you listen to. Be careful who you um believe. Take everything with a grain of salt. Use your own smarts. Be smart and be there for the children. Just don't make it selfish. It's for the kids. Nothing's right, nothing's wrong. All it is are people's opinions. That's it. This is my opinion that these are that these are victims and that these aren't Ziggies. I mean, that these are not Ziggies. They're all different. They're all different. And this is what I wanted to share with you tonight. To all the victims of the Summer Moon Wells shotgun missing children, we are here for them. Go buy yourself some cards, go buy my book, Digital Distortion. Go to my website, Bam Bam Boogie Online, and you will see it all. It is all there. For now, you guys, I'm going to call it a night. Thank you all for coming. Thanks for always being the best of the best. I just love you all. Small and mighty, it doesn't matter how many, it's just how true you guys are to what you're looking at and how sweet you are to me, and you allow me to have this platform to live my truth. Thank you all. God bless you all. See you soon.